Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Wednesday, the 21st of February. Good to have you aboard, part of the Believe Podcast Network, and presented as always, of course, by our title sponsor, Everything ZASLOW Show 2.0, Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE, 800-747-3733. You're involved in any kind of an accident, you let Anidjar and Levine put their skills to work for you, get you the compensation you deserve. Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE, 800-747-3733. And of course, Bet Online, our partner, continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wagering needs. That includes pro and college hoops all throughout the year with up-to-the-minute odds, stats, trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or your mobile devices. Head to Bet Online today to become part of the team. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, the game starts here. So glad to have you with us here. I appreciate anyone who was listening to me last night. ESPN Radio filled in on Amber and Ian, did the show with top girl Amber Wilson. So if you hung out with us last night, I'll owe you a long time. Had a lot of fun last night. And look, there's no one doing it like she is in sports talk radio right now. So if you haven't been listening to Amber every night from 7 to 10 p.m., like I said, there's no one like her doing it right now. So make sure you always check her out every night, and certainly check it out when I'm paired with her. It's my favorite night of the week, and I feel really fortunate that I'm able to do shows with her again. So anyone who hung out with us last night, really awesome. Had a great show, had a lot of fun. I got a great show for you today. Now, obviously, we're super happy with the Florida Panthers, who have now won 6 consecutive games. We got Inter Miami starting their season tonight. Now, you guys know I like to try and find some ways to get you guys involved in the show. I'd like to get the listeners, ZASLOW Show 2.0 fans, involved in the show as much as possible. And of course, on Thursdays, that's tomorrow, on Thursdays, we do mailbag. Well, I put out, another way I can get you guys involved. I put out a question this morning. Inter Miami tonight. What are the expectations for this team? Got a lot of great responses there. So that's something I think I could do more often, where I'll read you guys' responses. So it's like you're part of the show. So we'll get to that coming up. First, though, and by the way, our guy, one of my favorite Florida Panthers of all time, my guy Ed Jovanovski, is going to hop on the show today. So Jovo Cop will join the show. We'll talk Panther hockey with him. Look, I'd always love having Jovo on the show. So Panthers win last night, but before that, so I'll let you a little bit behind the scenes. Here's the way it goes down. I'm about to start the show last night with Amber Wilson. And right before we go on, the Panther game is starting at 7. We're going on the air at 7. And so I say to the producers there in Bristol, I go, all right, what are the chances I can get through the show? I could get through the next 3 hours and not have the Panther game spoiled for me. And I ask that because, well, if it's going to be, I can never get away with that if the Heat are on at the same time. Because, the Heat are important. The Heat get attention on ESPN. I can't not know what's going on with the Heat. So I have to have the Heat game on if they're playing while I'm on ESPN radio. But the Panther game, I can potentially get away with not watching the game, not having it spoiled for me, because there's no reason to be addressing the Panther game while I'm hosting on ESPN Radio, unless it's a playoff game, of course. So I say to them, what are the chances I cannot have the Panther game spoiled for me? So meaning, you guys in the studio there in Bristol, I would like you not to say anything. Amber's not going to say anything. She doesn't have a clue what's going on with the Panthers. I mean, let's just keep it real, keep it don't. And it really boils down to who is doing the Sports Center updates. Because if it's someone who's into hockey, and like Kevin Winter, he gives the hockey scores. If it's somebody who's going to give the hockey scores, is that going to be spoiled for me? Well, whoever was doing the Sports Center updates last night, I don't even know. They said, the producers told me he's going to give hockey scores. So they said we can turn down the SportsCenter updates so you don't hear it. I'm like, yes, let's do that. Because that makes a perfect night. If I can work with my homegirl Amber Wilson, 7 to 10 p.m., and then I go downstairs, ZASLOW Mansion family room, I sit on the couch in my underwear, I crack open a Johnny Cuba, and I enjoy the Panther game. That's a night right there. So that's how I was able to enjoy the game. That's right. We got through it. I got through the 3 hours, had no idea about the Panther game. My son Corey, my 15-year-old, close to the end of the show with Amber, he walks in during a commercial break. I take off my head and I go, don't tell me anything about the Panther game. I don't know about it. I'm going to watch it afterward. Don't make any facial expressions. Moving on. And so he understood the assignment. And when I got done with the show, I went downstairs. And my wife, of course, she's taunting me. Do you want to know what happened? Do you want to know what happened? Do you want to know who won? I'm like, please stop talking about this. Because I feel like based on her tone or like, I was like, you know what? Like she was at peak annoying while I was watching the Panther game. Peak annoying. And she didn't end up spoiling for me. But my plan worked to perfection last night. That's a good night right there. So I had a fun night, obviously, because we know that the Panthers won. But I had a great night. Got to do the show with Amber Wilson. That's always the highlight of my week. And then we got to sit on the couch and enjoy the Panthers. Now, I will say, I talked about this a lot yesterday. I thought there was going to be a lot of fisticuffs during the Panthers Senators game because the last time you had like 1,000 minutes in penalties. You had all the game misconducts. You had Matthew Tkachuk. You had Brady Tkachuk. You had all the fight. They don't fight each other. They promised their mother. But you had all the fighting going on. I thought it was going to be a rough... Now, the game did get very physical, especially in the third period. But no fights. Came close a couple times. Sergei Bobrovsky, he face-mushed Brady Tkachuk, I think it was, at one point. It got testy, especially in the third. But no fights. I was very surprised. That's okay. The whole point is you got to win. So the Panthers, they're back home last night. Amerant Bank Arena, packed. Every game is packed. Tremendous hockey atmosphere now here in Sunrise. And just 19 seconds into the game, the Panthers get on the board.
So we'll see how this one materializes. Chance in front, Aaron Ekblad score! 19 seconds in! Ekblad makes it 1-0.
That's how you get the game started.
I didn't even see the goal. I put the game on. I pressed play. I walked away from the couch. I walked into the kitchen. I made myself a taco and then come and sit down and watch the game. 19 seconds in, Aaron Ekblad gets his 4th goal of the season. Panthers are already up 1-0. You figure, okay, they're going to kick the shit out of the Senators. Not the case. We go to the second period. Late in the second period, it's still 1-1.
That hockey had the opportunity.
Rodriguez off the bench with a chance, glove save. Montour in the slot, fires, that's blocked. Another shot, score! Brandon Montour makes it 2-0.
Well, I think he learned his lesson. Giving up that shot to try and force a pass, and then Panthers get jump on that loose puck. Montour stayed aggressive, stayed inside that blue line, and again, right down Main Street.
Brandon Montour with his 4th goal of the season. A beauty. And he earned that goal. He had a great shift. Panthers are up 2-0 going into the third period. And then the Senators, they tie the game. They get a pair of goals. And Bobrovsky was fantastic, by the way. But they get a pair of goals. They tie the game. We go into overtime, so they're going to get the point. But look, we're trying to win a 6th consecutive game here. Overtime in the NHL is so good. Regular season, 3-on-3, up and down the ice. Each team, you're always going to get a good shot. I watch overtime. I got to stand in the ZASLOW Mansion family room. I got to stand. And the closer you get to the television, everybody knows, the closer you get to the television, the more intense it is. So I'm standing, watching the overtime. And Anton Lundell, who has been red hot of late, wins it for the Panthers.
Lundell gets by Brady, gets shot, back, who score! Let's go home, baby! Anton Lundell extends the winning streak to a half dozen.
Grab a hose. The Panthers are on fire.
That's right. Let's go home, baby. Panthers win. back in first place in the Eastern Conference. Anton Lundell with his 8th goal of the season, a beauty. Top shelf, right over the right shoulder of blocker side of the goalie. And the Panthers, they skate out of there with a win. We're going to have Ed Jovanovski on the show. We'll talk about that. And one of the things I want to talk about is this Panther team, the way it took them all year long last year to play the style of hockey that Paul Maurice wanted them to play. And finally, they started playing that way very late in the regular season, and it carried them into the playoffs. And we saw Paul Maurice was right all along. It got them to the Stanley Cup Finals. The way they played in the playoffs last year is how they have played this entire season. They are that team now. But so we shouldn't be surprised they're so good. But here's the thing. And I asked Jovo about this. I think they're better. They're better than they were last year in the playoffs. They're even better. They're first place in the East. I don't believe in that President's Trophy bullshit. The whole President's Trophy curse, the first place team, they never wind up winning the Stanley Cup. It hasn't happened in forever. Win as many games you can, get as many points you can, finish first, get home ice advantage in the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't believe that President's Trophy curse bullshit. Come on, get out of here with that. The Panthers in their last 24 games now. You've had a 9-game winning streak. You've had a 6-game winning streak. The Panthers in their last 24 games. How about this? 19-3-2. 19-3-2 in their last 24 games. This is the best team in the Eastern Conference. Vancouver's really good. They have the most points in the NHL. This is the best team in the Eastern Conference, and they are absolutely a major Stanley Cup contender. It's so exciting that I can't wait for April. I can't wait. So we'll get Jovo on here in a little bit. We'll talk Florida Panther hockey with him. And just a really good job. Thursday, they're at Carolina. I hate the Hurricanes. Have we played the Hurricanes yet this year? Man, I can't remember. After taking that ass, sweeping that ass in the Eastern Conference Finals, Thursday, tomorrow night, the Panthers, they're at the Carolina Hurricanes. The Heat are not back in action until Friday. They're at New Orleans. You got the All-Star break. Gotta rest. Yeah, you gotta rest, all right? So the Panthers, the Heat, they're back in action Friday. Now, the Inter Miami season begins tonight. It snuck up on us, right? So they're open. It's regular season now. You know they were on their preseason tour. By the way, all right, before we get into Inter Miami, you guys know I love sheets and giggles. I'm looking right now at my bed right there. That comforter, it looks so soft. I know how soft it is because I sleep on nothing but sheets and giggles. And when you go to sheetsgiggles.com, you're sleeping on the softest, coolest, most breathable sheets out there. Sheetsgiggles.com. You get made from the wood from eucalyptus trees. My man Colin, the founder and CEO of Sheets and Giggles, he did it. He found a way to help us get the best sleep of our lives with these sheets, but also keeping it environmentally safe, environmentally friendly. The bed sheets, the blankets, the comforter, the pillowcases, the fitted sheets. I sleep on a eucalyptus pillow. If you need a mattress, a eucalyptus mattress right now, you go to sheetsgiggles.com. What better time than now to take advantage of my promo code, ZASLOW, ZASLOW. If this is your first time at sheetsgiggles.com, use promo code ZASLOW, 20% off your first order. Now's the time to get yourself a new mattress, 20% off your first order at sheetsgiggles.com. And all you got to do is use my promo code ZASLOW. Sheetsgiggles.com, where you're going to become one of over 100,000 Americans who are getting the best sleep you've ever had. Promo code ZASLOW, sheetsgiggles.com. So, Inter Miami, they open their season tonight against Real Salt Lake at 8 p.m. Now, you got to have the Apple Pass. Now, I have the Apple Pass. I'm a subscriber. I don't know if you know, I'm an inaugural season ticket holder for Inter Miami. So, with that comes a included subscription for the MLS season pass. So, I'm looking forward. I'm going to sit down tonight in the ZASLOW Mansion family room, of course, in my underwear. And I'm going to be watching Messi and Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba and Luis Suarez. That's right. Luis Suarez is now on Inter Miami. So I realized only a couple days ago that the season was back upon us. Cool. I love watching Inter Miami. And last year when Messi joined the team, super excited because they didn't lose their first 9 games, including, tournament plays. And now it was so hard for them to make a run last year. By the time Messi joined the team, they were so far in last place in the Eastern Conference that they only ended up finishing next to last in the Eastern Conference. They gave it a little bit of a run, then the bottom fell out. Messi just wasn't healthy enough by the end because they played him so much to win that tournament and to get deep in the other tournaments. So now you got Messi at the start of the season. And I understand they're going to be playing in other tournaments too. But now you got Messi, which is great because they're going to play a lot of soccer. But now you got Messi at the start of the season. I think expectations got to be high for this Inter Miami team. And here's the thing. So I just realized a few days ago that the season was starting tonight. I'm an inaugural season ticket holder. I still got my tickets. I looked up the price for these tickets. Holy shit. Now, we've already gone over this. How expensive and how much they jacked up the prices. I'm not even going to tell you how much my tickets are or how much my tickets went up. But what I am going to tell you is, based on what I'm paying now, based on what everyone else is paying now, when I put out the tweet this morning, because I'm an Inter Miami fan, but I don't really know about the other MLS teams. I'm not an expert, all right? You may think, because, I got good soccer lingo. You may think I'm an expert. I'm not an Inter Miami expert. So I got to put it out to you guys. And I asked you guys, I need to hear from my Inter Miami fans, what's the expectation for the team this year? And then, of course, I'm an inaugural season ticket holder. But I'm asking you guys. So many of you know more about it than me. So we got a lot of responses there. But what I will tell you, based on what I'm paying this year for these Inter Miami tickets, based on what we're all paying this year for these Inter Miami season tickets, this team better be fucking good. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I paid, but I am going to tell you, based on the prices, this team better be really good. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to tell you. So I put it out there, and like I said, I think this is a good way to get you guys involved, to get the interaction. So here's what we got. My man Nick Hexy chimes in, better be championship or bust with this squad. And then he says, did you renew the season tickets this year? Hashtag trying to go. Good job out of you, Nick Hex. And of course, everybody knows when I'm trying to go to a game, now I'm not trying to go tonight. I have tickets. But whenever I'm trying to go, that means I'm looking for the hookup. So my man Nick Hex there, he's trying to go. I hope that works out for you. Whenever I'm trying to go, that means I'm putting the bat signal out and I need the hookup. I don't need the hookup for Inter Miami tickets. I'm an inaugural season ticket holder. So yes, of course, I told him I did renew my tickets. It was expensive. All right. Vince says, I would say they didn't try much during the preseason to hit it hard during the official season. Sleeper team ready to dominate. Okay. So when they came out and they won their first 9 games, or at least went undefeated in those 9 games without a loss, they were dominating and they were beating really good teams. So that's a good point there by Vince. I hope he's right. They played these preseason friendlies. They did not play well. And that was when Messi was playing too, because he missed a few games also. Let's see. A bitter Easy E Machine says, I'm expecting 4 trophies this year. So yeah, I think they're playing in 3 tournaments. And also you have the MLS Cup. So I guess he's saying he expects them to win everything. Now, my man Ao Lopez says, most important ones are MLS League Cup and CONCACAF Champions Cup. Now, because they won the tournament that they were in last year, that's what gets them, I believe, to the round of 16 automatically in CONCACAF Champions Cup. So, Ao Lopez is looking for 2 trophies, MLS League Cup and CONCACAF Champions Cup. Let's see. Lewis likes to fish. He says, we're relying on 4 35-plus-year-olds, so I'm somewhat skeptical. Well, that's where I think the head coach, what's his name, Tato Martinez, he's going to have to manage that. All right, that's up to him. That's up to me. That's up to him. Let's see. Cheesy_dad says, CONCACAF Champions Cup and MLS Cup. MLS Cup is a must if no CCC, then 2 other cups aside from MLS. Anything less is on the team, coach, and management and would be unacceptable at these prices. All right, so he has big expectation, and yeah, I would say unacceptable at these prices. Well, that's why the MLS Cup is the one that's most important to me, because those other tournaments, even if they're going to be played at Dry Pink Stadium, we don't have those tickets in our season ticket, membership. So the MLS Cup, those regular season games to me are most important. Those are the games I have the tickets for. But I understand what you're saying. He has high expectation. Let's see. Teeter Tono says, well, I think we definitely will be better than last season. Well, you're setting the bar low, but yes, I think you're probably right. Former Miami Dolphins practice facility tweets, middle of the pack most of the year, but they'll win a trophy and be called a partial success. Early flame out of the playoffs like last year, but louder. All right, so he does not have high expectations. Battered Herons. Okay, that's a big Inter Miami podcast. Battered Herons says, CONCACAF Champions Cup, MLS Cup, that's the expectation. Anything less would be a disappointment. Wow, so anything less than winning MLS this year is a disappointment. That's exciting. My man Mr. Bill says, they're in 5 competitions. They should win 2 of them, neither of which will be MLS Cup. So I wonder, is he saying that they're not going to win MLS Cup, or they should win 2 competitions besides MLS Cup? Either way, that's a lot of soccer you get out of this team. And finally, one more here is from my man Carlos. Carlos says, get to the playoffs healthy. It's a long-ass season. We should come out of the East with Vasquez from Cincy transferring out, but Nashville, Philly, Orlando City, still formidable opponents. We should end up top 4, and then Carlos, good job out of you. FYI, I am also an inaugural season ticket holder. Good job out of you, Carlos. I'm looking forward to seeing you at a game. I'm still looking to get into one of those gangs at the game. The La Familia. I forget the names of the other guys, but I'm looking to get jumped into one of those gangs. So if you see me at an Inter Miami game, because I'm an inaugural season ticket holder, all the gangs that are out there supporting the Inter Miami, I'm looking to get jumped in. So I got to tell my son when we go to the game, if all of a sudden I'm getting jumped, and obviously, I'll turtle into a ball because I don't want to get too hurt. That's how you got to do it if you're getting jumped into a gang. Everybody knows that. I'll tell my son, listen, don't stop them from jumping me. That means we're about to have a whole bunch of new friends. So I'm looking forward to get jumped into one of the gangs. It still hasn't happened yet. I'm looking forward to meeting a bunch of you guys and making a whole lot of new friends. So Inter Miami tonight. We got it going on. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Very good. So before we talk to Jovo, guys, if you're thinking about getting a new ride, I'm sending you to the only car dealership I personally endorse, North Fort Lauderdale Subaru. At North Fort Lauderdale Subaru, you're walking in the showroom doors, you're getting a relaxed indoor car shopping experience. Or if you're just looking to get your current vehicle serviced, you're going to be treated like royalty at North Fort Lauderdale Subaru. Did you know they service all makes and models at North Fort Lauderdale Subaru? So whatever you're currently driving, you take it to North Fort Lauderdale Subaru and you're going to get service with confidence. That's right. Now, right now, you got a ton of great deals going on. There's a lot of love at North Fort Lauderdale Subaru. A lot to love at North Fort Lauderdale Subaru this month of February. Incredible offers on all new Subarus in stock, as well as every pre-owned vehicle in their lot. Right now, at North Fort Lauderdale Subaru, you can make 0 down payment, 0 payment for 3 months, and make 0 security deposit. I mean, you're walking out of there with a great car at the price that you're looking for. Your family's going to love it. I mean, come on, what are we talking about here? NFLSubaru.com. Right now, from the comfort of your own home, you could shop the entire inventory when you go to NFLSubaru.com. North Fort Lauderdale Subaru, the location with an experience you'll love.